What is up, y'all? This is the Apod Green. Happy Friday. Happy 7/11 or July 11th. Welcome, welcome. Let's go ahead and take it easy and sip some tea and dive right in. Being that we just mentioned 7/11, that is definitely one of the angel numbers we'll be covering today. Conjoined with that, we will have 1717 as well as 717 because I also saw those. On top of that, it'll be its own separate entity, but I saw the mirroring number 1441. Alright, so with that being said, thank you for not only showing up for me today, thank you for showing up for yourselves on this lovely Friday and for doing the inner work because I know it is not easy. On top of that, I do want to say that energy, it can go any way. It is super fluid like water. So he could be a she could be a he could be a he, they could be a they, whomever, whatever. As I like to say, I could be pulling a King of Swords, but I could be talking about an individual who identifies as a woman. So just kind of like put it where it fits, let the rest sit, let it marinate for those who need it. Energy can also be kind of flip-flopped, so I could even be talking about someone else and not even you. Okay? Or it could be, vice versa. So let's go ahead and dive in. I heard stir fry, I think it's called, by Migos when I was doing my workout today. Let's go ahead and pull up the lyrics to that. What I had particularly heard was, what is it, like big ol' onion booty? I just googled stir fry recipe. Oops. Stir fry Migos. In the kitchen, wrist twisted like a stir fry. Where is it? Damn, that came out in 2017. Wait. I'm dating myself here, but in the kitchen, wrist twistin' like it's stir fry whip it. Hold them bands down, hold your mans down. Who told you come around? This that trap sound. Designer clothes, fashion shows, trap house made of gold. Control the bag now, no need to brag now. Put the mask down, we livin' fast now. Finest hose, wrist froze, we can go coast to coast. There was another lyric I got. Where is it? He says she got a big ol' onion booty, make the world cry or something. Oh yeah, yeah. She got a big ol' onion booty, make the world cry. So that may pertain to some of y'all in case you didn't know. You got a big ol' onion booty that make the world cry. A nice peach, okay? But not everybody likes peaches. So I guess we went to the onion today. All right. I also channeled, I'm actually going to talk about this a little more later, but I channeled 2 video games. One is one that I'm currently playing right now called Cyberpunk 2077. And I also channeled a game that I played like a year or so ago, maybe 2 years ago, called Detroit Become Human. I also channeled the song Conceited by Lola Young. And I'll pull up those lyrics real quick. I love this song. I know a lot of people like her song Messy, but I discovered Lola Young with Conceited, and I feel like this song gets slept on. Let's see, the lyrics I heard were, "You bought me some flowers, I gave them to someone else. Told me that you loved me, you're just talking to yourself. I don't want to know. I don't want to hear it. Let yourself out. You're so conceited." So, this doesn't necessarily have to be in terms of romanticism or your romantic life, but it definitely fits. I feel like there is just someone, I feel like they're older. I feel like they are definitely radiating some heavy masculine energy. Like there's heavy masculine energy all throughout this these downloads, you know, especially with the angel numbers. So with that, I feel like this could be kind of like more so towards some older, you know, individual who may be conveying, be it, you know, whatever they identify as, you know, but they're conveying this conceited energy. Um, I do also want to remind y'all that we are on the cusp of Mercury going into Gatorade, or retrograde for Mercury, right? Brittany, the cosmic intuitive, she likes to say that Mercury is in the microwave, and I love that. But July 17th, 7/17 is when it starts. I also, you know, a couple years back, like I would see 7/17 a lot, and I'd see 17/17 a lot, and I kind of like had put those towards, in terms of my personal life, towards like my romantic relationship, but it was kind of like a lucky number for me. So I feel like, you know, I feel like this is definitely letting you know that it is a lucky time for you as well as your partner. Okay, so 7/11, 7/17, 17/17. With 7, we can break that down this way. So it is ruled by Neptune, right? Pisces is the domicile, Virgo the detriment, Leo the exalting planet, and Aquarius, that is where the fall is. So essentially it's kryptonite. It does not like being an Aquarius. And it is really uncomfortable when it's in Virgo. However, when it's in Pisces, it loves it. When it's in Leo, it's like, okay, I can get with this. This is kind of fun. So think of the number 7 and Neptune that way, okay? All right. For the number 1, we know that is ruled by the sun. We know Leo is the domicile, right? Just like Leo is the exalt. In 7, for this one, Leo's the domicile. Interesting that Aquarius is the fall for number 7, but for number 1, Aquarius is the detriment. So there's a lot of like relation right here. For number 1, Aries is the exaltation, and Libra is the fall. So again, it's kryptonite. Okay, so the downloads I got for this. If you are in a divine union or a partnership or whatever you want to call it, if you found your boo, y'all are so cute, it makes them sick. And I feel like y'all have heard this before. I just want you to know that this is especially true for, like, you know, when you encounter strangers and whatnot. Like it makes them almost sick just watching you guys, because you fit together really well. I also got, let yourself find the escapism that you crave through manifestation. Get a little delulu. And so what I mean by that is like, for instance, say you're trying to like manifest a new appliance, or, you know, let's go even bigger, like a new car. Okay? Start looking at that car. Okay? Start looking at pictures of that car, you know, start noticing that car when you drive around. Start acting like you're shopping for that car. Envision yourself putting that car into your online cart, purchasing it, getting the insurance and the paperwork squared away, and heading down there to drive off the lot with that car. Brand new. Okay? Get a little delulu. Okay? I also feel like a lot of people do Pinterest boards. I don't personally have Pinterest anymore. I may consider getting it again, but I know a lot of people like to utilize Pinterest boards. Try to manifest with that too. Okay. um, I also got, may your thoughts continue to flow like water rather than lingering up in the air. Okay, try not to get lost in your noggin. I don't want no Eight of Swords, Nine of Swords energy in here. I'd much rather some Seven of Cups. Okay, that's the kind of Neptunian Pisces energy I want, where you see that you got all the options. Okay, and if it's a negative thought, try not to hold on to it. Just let it flow like water. Water. Do not let it linger up in the air like something stanky. I feel like someone's energy is kind of putrid to you. I don't know if y'all ever noticed this, but sometimes I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I feel like I can smell people's energy, unless that's just them. But yeah. Um, on another note, there is something different that you do in particular that is helping you in your arena. Okay, so let's say you're in customer service, there is a technique that you use that is just unlike any other. Okay, let's say you are a content creator. There is something that you do that no other content creators do, at least not like you. Okay. All right. I also saw while I was channeling, I got this scene from Grey's Anatomy. I can't remember which episode it was. I think it's in one of the first, 3 seasons. I think it was before Izzy meets Denny, but I was doing it. One sec. Okay, I don't even know where I was. Let's see. So yeah, it was before Izzy met Denny. But anyway, so there is this individual who swears up and down that he is a psychic, but he also has a brain tumor or something. And they tell him pretty much that if he operates, he will no longer have what they assume were seizures, but he felt like they were messages or visions. And so towards the end of the episode, Izzy, she really just was very skeptical of this guy, and he kind of annoyed her actually, because she was just this is a grifter just grifting people. But it's not like he was asking for money or anything. He was just he was just telling people stuff, and they were getting annoyed by it because it was the truth. Well, this psychic tells Miss Izzy that the missing ingredient to her mother's fudge chocolate cupcakes is coconut extract. And it just hits her, that nostalgia of the taste, as well as, the memory of, oh yeah, she would put coconut extract in her cupcakes. And, obviously Izzy did not believe in psychics or anything, but it tripped her out that he was right. So be open to advice from spaces you typically might reject due to stereotypes. I feel like this was an important one. I will repeat it. Be open to advice you may typically reject, or from spaces you may typically reject due to stereotypes. Also be open to trying new tools, okay? So resistance to change could be one's detriment. This is kind of where I wanted to pull in Cyberpunk 2077, as well as the other video game, Detroit Become Human. So, in Detroit Become Human, in that game in particular, You can either be human or you can be AI, okay? Or you could be different AI throughout the game, okay? So different stories. Um, each AI has its own consciousness. It has its own feelings. It has its own, mechanical suit that resembles that of a human visage. So they look human. They look very human, but they could be bought and purchased from stores that, looked similar to an Apple store, and they were being bought and purchased to be nannies, to be cooks, to be maids, to be, you know, uh, money sign EX dolls, and it was pretty disgusting. And eventually, one of them creates this huge uprising against humanity because it was tired of being abused. And it took that one AI model to be tired of everything to make a change. Um, I also wanted to talk about Cyberpunk 2077, specifically about the character you play, who is V. V as in Victor, so you could be male or female. It gives you the choice. I typically choose to be female. Um, and then Johnny. Johnny is played by Keanu Reeves. So Johnny is this super angsty, like, anarchist, terrorist, essentially. And I say terrorist because Johnny ends up on a money sign U exclamation mark C as in cat exclamation mark DE mission, okay, essentially, because of his values and like how much he hates, like, corporate America. And it was just, he he really embodied someone who wanted to make a change for humanity, but it almost feels like, if you're into like the MBTI, the Myers-Briggs personality typing, for instance, I'm an INFJ. I kind of feel like Johnny was like the dark side of the INFJ, or like a dark empath, right? And so he really like had these big feelings and these emotions towards humanity and wanted to create a positive change, but he caused so much destruction along the way and just wreaked havoc on his path and was just filled with anger and bitterness. Whereas V is like, we're V, right? We're V. V, we are, very street savvy, very in tune with our emotions for the most part, depending on how you play V, okay? But I feel like the game in itself is just like, one big mindfuck and message. Um, Eventually, you as the, you're a street kid too, and, depending on how you play, but I mean, essentially, whatever role you choose, you end up in the same space. And that is, a mission goes wrong for you as a street kid, you end up losing a friend because of that mission. Not only that, but a piece of technology that you are to steal, it is like a USB. You plug it into yourself because, in Cyberpunk 2077, everybody is a cyborg of some sort. Like, you you have all sorts of different ways you can tweak yourself, from like, like facial plating to giving yourself superpowers to, having a metal arm and a metal leg, or being completely chrome. Like, there's so much that like Cyberpunk had created, and it essentially was able to, if you wanted to, They were playing with the technology of separating consciousness and putting it into someone else. I haven't gotten that far in the game, but I have a few theories about it, but I'm not going to share it. But there is this point in which, you're trying to steal that USB, right? And you plug it into yourself, and now all of a sudden it's like, you have this virus, and this virus is actually Johnny, and Johnny is in your head. So you have two consciences, there we go, in your head, yours as well as Johnny's, V's as well as Johnny's. And so it's almost like this like tug and pull. And it's such a wild game. But I feel like, you do have this kind of like, in a sense, like metal side to you, because Johnny Silverhand, he was like, really, he was a rock star and really into metal and stuff. But like feel like you have this like this gritty side to you too. Like you're glam like V, but you're also grit like Johnny. Okay, and I'm not saying that like you're a terrorist or you're gonna go like blow up a corporate tower or anything like Johnny did, but I feel like you are finding that nice balance, and that's impressive. I feel like it could also, it's almost like your feminine and masculine energies kind of like merging together to become one. That glam and grit. And I feel like this is going to kind of like help you level up. If you see life like a video game too, just know this is going to help you level up if you so choose to allow it. I also got embrace routine, but be open to life in. So you may want to use that sense of humor and charisma to wade through the mud and fog, but eventually you will find your destination. Mercury will be in Gatorade soon, so life will get to life in. Okay? I feel like someone around you, like, they're feeling really mixed up. And then with like Mercury about to go into Gatorade, they're going to feel extra mixed up. So someone feels like you help ground them and like you're the missing puzzle piece. And they could really utilize or use your humor right now because it's a rough one for them. I feel like they're also surprised by the fact that you are okay with only knowing what you are meant to and not knowing any more or any less. All right, on to 1441. Again, one broken down that is ruled by the sun. We have Leo domicile, Aquarius detriment, Aries exaltation, and Libra fall. For number 4, that is ruled by Uranus. So we have Aquarius domicile, Leo detriment, Scorpio exalt, and Taurus fall. This is kind of like another reminder to move quietly but swiftly. Okay, I know you really want to talk about it. You really want to, tell somebody about it. Like I feel this need and this excitement to talk to someone else. But until it's done, just move quietly. Some of you may actually be moving to another state or country, or at least considering it. I heard the song OMW, which stands for On My Way, and that is by parentheses 0 and FKJ. So I'm going to read those lyrics to you. FKJ, On My Way. This song is such a vibe. I feel like you guys would love it. But this is like the universe at you, okay? This is your angels, your guides, your deities at you. Let's see. What you talking about? Was it something about your smile? I didn't even pay attention. 'cause I'm lost in your direction. Show me the way, oh, I got to say. What you looking for? Always looking out the door. You didn't even pay attention. That I'm lost in your direction. Show you the way, now you gotta say. I'll be on my way, I'll be on the way. On my way, I'll be on my way. Yeah, check out that song. It's a vibe. Like, if you know who FKJ is, you know, he gets down, and if you know who parentheses 0 is, you know, she gets down too. I also heard home and hurt. So I feel like you really radiate warm and cozy vibes here. I don't know if y'all have ever heard of that perfume, but it's from Victoria's Secret Pink. Let me tell you what's in it. So I feel like this would like be like a great description for you. It has notes of soft vanilla, toasted coconut, and passion fruit, made with essential oils. So I feel like that is the kind of energy you bring to the table. You got those warm and cozy vibes. Like you feel and smell like home. I also heard that you make the best dang cookies for Miles. That's for someone. I heard that some of y'all are kitchen witches and are cooking and baking your way into others' hearts. I heard that toasted marshmallows and campfire could be important to you. This could be like some scents that you like to wear, or candles that you like, or just your vibe in particular. I also heard Hurricane by Cannons. Let's pull up those lyrics. Let's see, Hurricane Cannons. I love this song. Okay. The lyrics are, I can bring a change, I can bring the thunder and the rain. Everything around me, everything will rearrange. I'm coming back like a hurricane, I'm gonna take you higher. On a cloud of silver haze, I'm gonna take you higher. Away, away, away. We can blow them over, we can take them out if you stay. This is just a warning, nothing standing in my way. I told you before, coming back like a hurricane. I'm gonna take you higher on a cloud of silver haze. I want to take you higher, away, away, away. Take you somewhere far away. That song is lit, but I feel like that is totally y'all and your energy, like that whole like warm, cozy, raining, and I mean I've got some rain right now. Just raining, you know, toasted marshmallows, campfire, home and her. Hurricane by Cannons, and On My Way by parentheses 0 and FKJ. I also heard someone loves how safe they feel in your arms. Then I heard Lana's song California, specifically the lyrics. I wrote these ones down. You don't ever have to be stronger than you really are when you're lying in my arms. I also heard this could be the universe and how the universe wants to cradle you instead. So it could either be how someone feels about you or how the universe would like to, you know, just kind of baby you for a bit. This is, you know, if this is the universe, like this is how, you know, your angels, your guides, your deities, and so on feel when they see you struggling. But they don't want to intervene as they're trying to let you do your thing as you'd like, okay? Because free will and all that jazz. They want you to learn naturally. But they are here to hold you, not hold your hand, but hold you when you need and guide you. I also heard the lyrics from, again, Lana's California, Lana Del Rey. I hear the war was over if you really choose. The one in and around you. Gosh, her lyrics hit so deep. I love you, Lana. Anyway, I also got another download that was you don't have to do it all on your own. And I also got that someone here could just use a good cleansing cry. Like, baby, if you want to, like, you know, like, go sit in the shower, go sit in the tub, be by yourself for a bit, find some cathartic music if you need to, get you your cold water, you know, your wine, whatever. Sit down and have a good, healthy cry. Just let yourself get it all out. Okay. You know what? Interesting that we channeled that, because what I think back to Conceited. Let me look at those lyrics. Conceited, Lola, Young. Because in the chorus she says, "And I'm sick of your puppy eyes. You said boys should never cry. Well, surprise, I bet no one's ever told you." So it's like, you know, just let yourself cry. Just let yourself do your thing. If you gotta cry, it's okay. Doesn't make you weak. If anything, I feel like people who, you know, are able to feel through their emotions, those are the strong ones. The ones who feel through them and then, you know, are able to regain self-mastery afterward. Those are the strong ones to me. Okay, so I'm going to pull from the Disney Villains Tarot deck. That is by Minerva Siegel and Ellie Goldwyn. Gosh, that song Conceited is stuck in my head. Like, you bought me some flowers that you left somewhere else. Like, that shit is gonna be sitting with it. Okay. Let's get our tarot mantra in. I cloak myself in a chiffon of pink. I ask the spirit guides, ancestors, deities, angels, and Mother Nature to ground me in a protective glimmer, so that I may think, and so that I may shimmer. I am your oracle of the light, your seer in the dark. Please grant me that creative spark, and allow me to bask in your divine essence through this confusion and stark. I am you and you are me. Voice through me these messages you wish to speak, and blessed be. It's gonna be like that sometimes. Okay. Let's go ahead and start dealing. Let's get some crowning energy. 3 of Wands. Let's pull another. Oop, got a couple more. So for crowning energy, we got the 3 of Wands, the Ace of Coins, and the Page of Cups in reverse. Ooh, something's coming in for ya. Little gifty gift. Little gifty gift you don't see coming. Let's go ahead and get main energy. Holy bejeebus, it's toasty in here. King of Swords in reverse. 10 of Wands in reverse. Good for you. Hell yeah. Okay. What else? What else do we want to get for main energy out here? 9 of Swords. I done Billy told y'all no 9 of Swords shit. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Everything's gonna be okay. Okay. Cool. 2 of Cups. And now let's get the suppressed and oppressed energy. Gosh, that song really is just going with my noggin. Like, whoever the fuck you guys are dealing with, like, ugh. Whoever that masculine energy is. I hope they have a good cry. I was gonna say cry me a river, but maybe they need it. I hope they have a good cry. Okay. Alright, so, ooh, King of Coins, okay. Cool. So, let's talk about it. For our suppressed and oppressed energy, we have the Knight of Coins in reverse, and we have Judgment. Someone's really slow to make any judgment calls, and I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I also heard throwing stones in glass houses. So that could be either for you or them. For overall energy, we have the Two of Wands reversed, the Strength card in reverse, and the King of Coins. Ooh, this is powerful shit right here. Okay. So, from the crowning energy, I feel like with the Three of Wands and the Ace of Coins, there is definitely a wonderful surprise, a gift from the universe that is coming in that you're definitely not expecting. It is definitely going to be of the material sort, coins, pentacles, they represent the material world, the physical, tangible items of the world. And so this is just a little gift from the universe to you to lift your spirits, because with the Page of Cups in reverse, like, you might be a little in your cups right now, you might be kind of grumpy, kind of to yourself, and that's okay. But this is just going to be a little token, little something to lift your spirits. I also feel like with the King of Swords in reverse and the Ten of Wands in reverse out here, like, I also feel like with the Page of Cups too in reverse, up in the crowning energy. With all three of those combined, I kind of feel like every time you kind of like let people have their wands back, they see you as the King of Swords in reverse. Because you're just like, no, I don't want to do that. That is your burden to bear. Take that shit back. Has nothing to do with me. Take that back. Yeah, they don't like it when you do that. Like, for the King of Swords card, it's got Scar, and he's, like, at the top of a cliff face, and his look, like, his face just says disdain. Like, I feel like, again, this is, like, an older individual who, kind of feels like it's within their right to be asking this stuff of you. Not even asking, but demanding. Okay. But I feel like you are definitely going to get your flowers. With the Nine of Swords out here and the Two of Cups, I also realize, like how we were talking about yesterday, like this is definitely like, one second. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that. I got super distracted. But the Nine of Swords and the Two of Cups. So, like, kind of like going back to the reading that we did yesterday. Okay? I almost feel like, especially with the King of Swords out here, again, this person, like, feels like they could be a boss, they could be, some sort of figure who could be in the corporate world, a suit. This could be someone you work with. This could be a lawyer. This could be a doctor. This could be whomever. This could even be your uncle. Could be whomever. Could be your auntie. Okay? But I feel like with the Two of Cups and the Nine of Swords, like you've been trying not to rock the boat for the most part. And so like you're kind of torn because like, most of the time you do want to drop those wands. But at the same time, you don't want to rock the boat. And you have anxiety about that. I get that. I totally get that. With this King of Coins out here, like, I feel like that's you. And then they're like the King of Swords in reverse. So, like, again, you could be male, female, whatever. But the King of Coins energy is definitely, like, you know, someone who, if not materialistically rich, is definitely comfortable. They're rich enough to say they're very, very comfortable, and they are able to obtain luxurious items without worry. I feel like you're about to stumble into this lifestyle in particular, and you have no idea. With Strength in reverse, the Two of Wands in reverse, like, I feel like not only that, but like if you are in a partnership, you're kind of like, you know, you do have an idea, but you have no idea. But your partner, on the other hand, like, you're trying to let them know, like, hey, like, don't worry, everything's gonna be good. Like, keep that scarcity mindset over there. Everything's gonna be okay. And like, it feels like you're trying to be strong for the both of yous. You know, the whole letting them know they never have to be stronger than they really are. They're laying in your arms. Because, like, you know, if it's not always 50-50. If it's got to be 80-20 sometimes, like, you know, should like that just be. That's how relationships are. If it's not necessarily like a partnership, this could be like someone who you plan on moving with. So like a roommate, this could be a family member. But the Strength card in this particular case has two crocodiles who are waiting very patiently for their comeuppance to become the King of Coins, despite not knowing exactly where it's coming from with the Two of Wands in reverse. But being we got the Three of Wands out here, it's obviously coming. Those ships are coming in. I feel like you're going to be rewarded for speaking some sort of truth. You know, we've been talking about like how like there might be like a court case. This may be again like a work type situation. This could be a coworker, a boss. You know, this could be again could be your uncle. Who knows? But there is definitely a juicy token of truth that you're about to receive too. Lionsgate Portal. Remember that around that time. Maybe sooner. Maybe you already have it. But around that time is when that juicy token of truth is going to be most important. Okay. Let's go ahead and pull my goodness, I can't wait until like fish calms down and there's not always distraction after distraction and all that crazy stuff, man. Let's see. I feel like y'all are probably really distracted too. Like, you got shit you want to do, but all of a sudden here comes someone saying like, here, can you take this wand please? Because I don't want to do it. Will you take this wand and do the wand thing? Because I don't want to and you do it better. Not weaponizing competence type shit annoys me. I feel like I just choked on my spit. So like whoever's coming at you and trying to drop off all of these wants and demands and, you know, requests or whatever, these favors, asking for favors, they are going to choke on their words. That was definitely a sign. Okay. So I also have the Modern Witch Tarot deck by Lisa Sturl out. So let's go ahead, pull some tea from there, and then we'll dip out. Okay. Crowning energy, Eight of Swords, Nine of Cups. Let's get some main energy out. Ooh, that flew. King of Cups in reverse. Seven of Cups in reverse. Queen of Cups in reverse. Ooh. Ooh, High Priestess in reverse. Ooh, okay. Now let's pull some suppressed and oppressed energies. Okay. Ace of Pentacles and Four of Cups. The Ace of Pentacles and the Four of Cups kind of like reminds me that, like, you know, you're going to get a juicy token, a bit of advice, an honest truth from somewhere where you don't want to hear it. Sometimes it is not the truth, it's the source that we don't like. And if you were to remove the source from the truth you had just heard, let me ask you this. Would you still be upset and would you be rejecting it? Okay. So that advice was already offered to you or it's about to come in. With the crowning energy being Eight of Swords and Nine of Cups, I feel like this is you and the universe reminding you, like, hey, all you gotta do is just talk to us. Just, you know, I just heard that song Wish by Trippie Redd and Diplo. He's like, goes, baby, what you wishing for? Maybe you should wish it more. Maybe the world is yours. Maybe when it rains, it pours. Keep on wishing. I don't know how to wish anymore. Keep on wishing. I don't know how to wish anymore. Keep on wishing. I don't know how to wish anymore, or do I? So that is totally Eight of Swords, Nine of Cups energy. Like, keep on wishing. It's coming. Someone really needs a good cry. My goodness. I really hope you get that, or they get that. That's some hefty energy. Okay. Overall energy, we got the Hermit in reverse. We got Six of Swords in reverse. We got the Six of Pentacles, and we got the Eight of Wands. Again, that energy, like that swift energy of movement. Someone might be moving. If not, you know, that person that you're dealing with is totally being relocated. Okay? And fairness will be dealt like it is some sort of charity. Okay? So close your laptop. Let yourself go within. Okay? And just kind of just reel it in and let yourself realize that it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. And you don't ever have to be stronger than you really are. King of Cups in reverse, Queen of Cups in reverse, Seven of Cups in reverse, the High Priestess in reverse for main energy. This is definitely like the energy of a push and a pull of emotions. You know, I feel like this is also highlighting on that masculine energy we were talking about earlier that was definitely taking up most of the downloads. I feel like a lot of it has to do with, like, you know, the King of Cups, the Queen of Cups. We had even talked about this in readings prior, and then the Seven of Cups. But I feel like there's a lot of, like, emotional manipulation and confusion and gaslighting and breadcrumbing and, you know, with the Seven of Cups in reverse, like, it feels like, you know, they're offering you stuff, but they don't even know what to offer you. And it's like none of the stuff that they like or that you like is being offered. So it's like, what the fuck? The devil will eventually figure out your price, though. So just be discerning. We have the High Priestess out here in reverse. Like, you're very sweet, you're very kind, but don't let this person play on your emotions or your wants and your needs. Okay? With the Four of Cups, card, I've talked about this before, and it is oddly similar to the Ace of Pentacles because in the Four of Cups, you have this woman who is sitting on a sidewalk with her arms folded over her chest, and her sweater, it says over it, and she looks, downward as if she's just absolutely, done with life. She's just over it. But to her right, there is a cloud from which a hand and a chalice is extended to her. But she sees these 3 cups in front of her, and because she doesn't want those 3 cups, she doesn't want the 4th cup either, because, she's like, I don't know if this is necessarily even my cup. I feel like this cup just ain't gonna work. You already gave me these other cups. Like, why is this cup gonna work? Blah, blah, blah. But in the Ace of Pentacles, again, there is a cloud to the left-hand, to the left-hand side of the card. And extended from it is a hand. And in the palm is a pentacle. This pentacle resembles the sun. So it's like, it could be really easy to reject something if you don't understand it. If you feel like it's a little woo-woo, if it's on a plane that you've never been, it can be easy to reject stuff like that. This is like that whole Izzy situation in which, that guy was like, I'm a psychic, and Izzy was like, no, you have a brain tumor. And he'd be spouting stuff that aligned with the idea that he is psychic, but she didn't want to believe it until he gave her that last tidbit of information, in which he was like, in your mother's chocolate cupcakes, the missing ingredient is coconut extract. That's how she made them, and that's why yours don't taste right. And then it dawned on Izzy. Okay, so it's like, this piece of information, it is definitely juicy. It is a gold token. Do not reject it. Just because you don't like the source it comes from doesn't mean it's not valuable information. Okay. I think I'm gonna go ahead and close it here. I think this was pretty self-explanatory. By all that is divine, I will now close and exit this reading. Thank you for illuminating the path and for not retreating. Our session has now come to an end. This advice I shall not bend. Please be safe on your path and keep me safe in the aftermath. Blessed be. Blessed be, y'all. Happy Friday. Have a great weekend.